welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm Yosha and I'm your go-to girl for all things real. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some things that you should be aware of before you get your first puppy. I am a lifestyle content creator from the Atlanta area, and on this channel you can find all things lifestyle, real talk, and reviews. Recently, my family and I got a puppy. In fact, we did a whole video introducing our puppy Bruno. You can check that video out after this one if you haven't seen it already. And with getting a new puppy has been a world of new things to learn. Puppy training to a new schedule. Spoiler alert, it's like having a newborn baby. I wanted to share a few things that might help you if you're considering and or about to buy a new puppy. So the first thing you want to think about is who is going to care for the puppy. If you are a single person, then obviously you know it's going to be all you. If you are a two-person home, you and your significant other, will you and your significant other pull your weight when it comes to taking care of the puppy? If you are a single mom with children, are your children old enough, responsible enough to take care of this puppy and keep up with it once the excitement of having a new puppy wears off? One thing that we are navigating currently, getting a puppy almost 2 weeks ago and learning how to take care of it, is that it is not all fun and games. It is not just playing with the puppy or buying it toys or keeping it out of things. It's also waking up early with it to go out and let it use the bathroom. It's also keeping a close eye on it and to make sure it's not tearing up stuff in the house. Sometimes you're gonna have to alter your plans. Sometimes your puppy may do things that are unexpected. It is a growing, learning baby, just like a human baby would be. And so one week they may be doing one thing and another week they may be doing another. And just because they weren't able to do something yesterday does not mean they can't do it today. Funny story, this week we learned that our puppy is smart enough to let himself out of the crate. Being there for several hours, he taught himself how to unlock his crate with his tongue. And so we had to go to Target and get some locks so that we can reinforce the crate with the lock when we're leaving, so that he doesn't open it and go out and make a mess of the house while we're not here. So going back to who is going to take care of the puppy, if you are a mom and your child is under 10 and has been begging you to get a new dog, definitely consider if they are going to want to help. We learned really quickly that Josiah is excited to play with Bruno, but he doesn't always want to help with Bruno. And so when it comes to getting up before 6 a.m. to take him out, it has mostly been my husband and me. My husband has been doing it more than I have, though. I did actually do it this morning, but I say that to say Josiah has not helped with that. And we did not expect that our puppy was going to be up before 6 a.m. every morning wanting to go out to use the bathroom. Another thing to consider with your kids is they are still kids, so you have to teach them how to care for a pet. They might have seen videos on the internet, they might have seen movies, they may only see those things and know little bits and pieces, but if they've never had a pet before, you're gonna have to teach them how to care for the pet and how to enforce the good habits that you're trying to teach, and that you and your family are on the same page, so that you're not trying to train your dog to do one thing and your kids are undoing the process and the progress by letting them do whatever they want. Or like when grandparents come over and they undo the things that you've kind of enforced with your kids. You got to be on the same page, because at this young age it can confuse the puppy if the 3 owners in the house or 4 owners in the house are telling him to do different things, right? Let's move on from caring for the puppy and go into how to get prepared with items and things that you may need. When you think of total cost for a puppy, it depends on your financial stability and where you are. I highly recommend getting insurance on a puppy when it's a puppy as soon as you get it. I actually have MetLife Pet Insurance, and I plan to do a review on MetLife Pet Insurance as I use it. I did file a claim for Bruno's first set of expenses, but I have not had that claim processed yet. So I kind of want to wait until I see how it works, how I'm reimbursed for things. And it was something that I could sign up for on my own with my credit card. So it's not a payroll deduction or anything like that, but it was a good rate. And I actually signed up for the preventative care and accidental insurance. And like I said, I will do a separate video about insurance in the future, but just to quickly touch on the difference, accidental is going to be much cheaper because it's only there to cover in accidents. It's still important though, because if your dog gets attacked by another dog, if your dog cuts himself on something and is bleeding and needs stitches, if any sort of emergency, unplanned accident happens, you don't have to come out of pocket fully for those expenses with that accidental coverage. If you decide to opt into the preventative coverage, that's the one where I think it's really good for puppies, because a lot of times puppies come with their first round of shots, or sometimes you may be like in the situation where I did, where we bought a puppy at 8 weeks old. The puppies didn't have any paperwork, didn't have any evidence of shots. The person who sold him to us told us that they did do their first round of shots and they had been doing a dewormer. But because I didn't really know what had happened, I didn't feel hey, Bruno, no. No. This little guy just peed on my carpet. Hey. What? He peed in here. You know you're not supposed to pee in here, Bruni. Give mommy some love. This is what he does when he wants to get away. You can't pee in here, stinky butt. We'll be back after these commercials. We had to take a little potty break. Okay, so I was talking about preventative care insurance, and the most doctor visits you'll probably do, aside from when your dog is older, is that first year. It's just like a baby that's new to the world. They have to go and get vaccines. They have to get monthly checkups for a little while. And so the preventative care covers things like the shots for fleas and ticks, the deworming, the spay and neutering types things that are preventative and help them, you know? And so I opted in for the preventative and accidental coverage, but you can choose whatever you want. Some people don't insure their pets. It's just that if you don't insure your pet and then your pet gets really sick at some point and you end up incurring an expense that's super expensive and then try to get it then, they probably will not cover you because they feel that you already are coming with a liability. So better safe than sorry. If you get a dog, consider getting pet insurance. That's the first thing I did when we got home from getting our dog. Other essentials that you need, and I will link some of the ones that we've really enjoyed down below. I have been shopping at Ross, Walmart, Target, and the PetSmart store. Now, Walmart actually had a lot of inexpensive essentials, and I will actually link those first because you don't have to spend a ton. Dogs are really easy to please, and a teething puppy is gonna chew on any and everything. So you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to get stuff that your puppy is gonna like. This is a bed that I got at Walmart. I wanna say it was on sale for $6.98. The most that a bed like this would probably would be about $9.98 at Walmart. My husband also got Bruno a flat bed out of Ross to keep inside his crate. It's a little bit harder for him to pick up and chew because it's a rectangle bed. That one was only $10. You saw the little Nerf toy inside. It's like a squeezy ball, and it's a long, thick rope that he could chew on. He loves that chew toy. We play tug of war with it. It also squeaks. I have bones. He's actually playing with one of his bones that I got for $5 at PetSmart. I'm gonna show you. I got that. I went to PetSmart to get his puppy shampoo for his first bath because y'all, he was stinking. And you're really only supposed to bathe your puppy about once a month according to the vet that I chatted with. But you know, if they get into a bunch of stinky stuff, you can wash them down. I think you just have to pay attention to them and make sure that you're not seeing a rash or any sort of itchiness. So I went with the Burt's Bees puppy shampoo. It is important to use a puppy shampoo with the puppy just because their skin may be sensitive. You're gonna need a blanket, you're gonna need training pads for if they pee, whether you wanna use them in the house, in the garage, in the crates. It just helps to absorb some of that pee. I will link down the two that we've tried so far. We've done the Walmart brand, it's called Vibrant, I think, Vibrant. And then my husband recently got some Up and Up ones from Target, and those are pretty good. For puppy food, we did Nutrish by Rachel Ray, and that's because that was what the previous owner told us they were using, so we didn't want to upset the routine by changing his food. But you can certainly change their food after some time, especially if you feel like your puppy doesn't like the food. I also would suggest, we were giving him kibble dry at first, and he didn't seem to like that as much as when we put some water in with it. So he likes his a little wet. So experiment with wet, dry, to see how your puppy does it. When your puppy is young, the teeth are still growing. There's going to be a lot of teething. So you want to definitely also consider how you help support the teething journey by pet proofing your home. I recently got some storage bins from Target to place around our house for shoes and items that we would typically leave out loose on the floor, because we understand that anything on the floor is up for grabs. And so I don't want some of our favorite pairs of shoes getting chewed up by accident. And so you definitely want to be mindful of that. You want to try to get things off the floor, out of reach. You want to be mindful of cords that may be hanging, because they might chew on them. Like, you can buy them all the chew toys in the world, but they're still going to want to chew on your sweater or chew on your shoe or house slip or blanket that may have been left out. So just be mindful of that sort of thing. One thing that really freaked me out was when Bruno had one of his first bowel movements and there was worms in it. I was like, oh my gosh, I was sold a puppy that's sick. He's gonna pass. I'm so scared. And so I made a vet appointment immediately. My insurance hadn't went into effect yet because it was the same day that I bought it. It usually goes into effect the next day. And accidental coverage, sometimes there's a 2-week gap, because again, they don't want you buying insurance because you know your puppy's had an accident and you want the insurance company to pay for it. You can't do that. I get to the PetSmart the same day, and we were getting toys, and so I asked, because they had like a PetSmart clinic, I asked the staff, and they're like, oh, that's normal. A lot of puppies have worms in their poop because when they are nursing from their moms, when they're younger puppies, the mom develops worms, and so they end up getting them from the breast milk of their moms. And I'm like, oh, okay. So for that, if you see worms in the poop, if they're dead, that's usually a good sign. It just means that the worms are passing on. When you go to the vet, you can have a dewormer given to your puppy, as well as a fecal test done, which is what I did. I did both. Other tip that I didn't know, I thought you had to bring the poop into the vet. At least at Vetco, they were like, no, we give you the kit, you collect the sample, you know, you put the glove on, you take the bowel, move it. I actually have a little video of me doing it. They will run it to the labs, and they'll come back and let you know what they found and if everything's good. When we did ours, everything came back good for Bruno. So I felt good knowing that. And that's where insurance is going to be great. I came out of pocket about $800 the first weekend with Bruno, between paying for him, paying for his essentials, food, toys, blankets, bed, going to pay for puppy school, paying for his first round of shots and the next round of shots at the vet. That ended up costing almost $300. And so that's why I'm like, yeah, insurance is gonna be my best friend. I think my deductible is $250 a year. And so every time I reach that, everything else, I'll have to pay up front, but then I'll get reimbursed. And I just think that speaks for itself. So I say all that to say that puppy expenses are not just, you know, buying the puppy, maybe a little shot here and there. Like, it's expensive to take care of a dog. It's like having a child. And I think some people don't realize that. I know for me, I remember saying like, woo, this is costing a lot up front. I'm hoping that, you know, I didn't just bite off more than I can chew, no pun intended. Another thing to keep in mind is the training. Training is something that I recommend you get help for early on if you are not experienced with puppies. I am not experienced with puppies. Bruno is very smart. He's catching on. He listens to us sometimes. But for my safety, his safety, future of having this pet as he is growing and gonna probably be a medium to large size dog, I want to make sure that I am taught how to train him and that he understands how to listen to me, Josiah, and my husband. That is how he's gonna be a smart, efficient puppy that becomes a dog that can protect us and not be a liability for me and others when we take him out in public. PetSmart actually has puppy training classes. I was able to get my puppy training classes with a $60 off coupon. And so I paid $89 and it is going to include 6 training sessions for 6 weeks. And I'm very excited because it really works with my schedule. They also have dog training for older dogs. And I just think this is gonna give me and my family an opportunity to learn the basics of training the dog. Now, aside from that training, we're also crate training, and this is separate from what PetSmart is doing because I work from home 1 day a week. My husband works from home very sparingly, and so with that said, Josiah's in school Monday through Friday. I'm in office Monday through Thursday. We're both off on the weekends, hubby and I, and Syed, of course, doesn't have school on the weekends. So what I mean by that is we are gone a lot of the time. And so the crate was actually given to us by the previous owners. We use that for Bruno when we are not here. And that goes into how we found out that Bruno could open the crate. We're getting ready to leave to go to work Tuesday of this week. And Josiah says, Mom, Bruno let himself out the crate. And so my husband was like, well, maybe you just didn't lock it right. Let me do it. So he locks it. I'm in the kitchen trying to grab food and plate it up. Hubby's in the room brushing his teeth. Saya's kind of sitting by Bruno's cage. He's like, he let himself out again. And so sure enough, Bruno had taught himself how to let himself out of the crate with his tongue. Smart dog. So we had to get locks. And I think I already touched on that a little bit, but we are teaching him how to get comfortable in the crate by putting a comfortable bed in there, a blanket. My husband likes to chop up apple slices and put it in there with him. I bring all that up to say you're gonna need some sort of crate, wire crate, play area, in an area that is safe, which is why puppy proofing is important. This was not a planned decision. I think if I were to get another pet, I would try to plan a little better, but for now we have to use the crate to keep them safe. So we ended up getting a baby gate from Target and the crate and the lock. And eventually what I want to do is get the garage cleaned out and then kind of expand the area so he can put like a large baby play area and have like his own little puppy carpet and food and area to kind of roam around in without getting into everything else while we're gone. But that's where training him will help us with getting to that and being able to trust that he won't tear up the house. Right now, absolutely not. He is not housebroken. Potty training has been very, I won't say it's been very hard. Like, he lets us know when he has to use the bathroom. He'll go to the stairs and he'll go down and he'll wait by the door. But we also know first thing in the morning, let him out. Right before bed, let him out. After every meal, let him out. So that's kind of where we are with it. But there are sometimes like where I was just doing this video and he just went on my carpet. I had to grab him and take him out. In the crate, if we leave him for like 2 hours, he won't usually go in there. He doesn't poop in his crate. He typically poops outside. I think he's had maybe 3 poop accidents inside the house. Most of the accidents in the house have been pee, thankfully. He doesn't like to poop where he sleeps or where he eats. The last piece that I'm going to touch on, your puppy is gonna wake up early. And if you're not normally a person who wakes up before 6 a.m. or before 5 a.m., just know that it is like a newborn. And if you put them in the bed and they go to sleep at 9 or 10 p.m., just know that they're probably gonna wake up before 6 a.m. And so that was a major adjustment for me, especially on my days off. Who was getting up at 6 on their day off? Not me. It goes back to what I was saying about who is taking care of the dog. If it's just you and you normally sleep in until 9 a.m., just know that that may change when you get your puppy. And as it gets older, you can, you know, push that time out a little further. If you are going to bed at the same time that you may have been before, but getting up 2 hours later, that is gonna really tire you out quick because you're gonna feel like you're not getting enough sleep. I have actually adjusted my bedtime by at least an hour since we've gotten Bruno to ensure I'm getting my rest. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If I forgot something and you are an experienced pet owner more than 2 weeks in, please leave your suggestions, your recommendations, your advice for me and my viewers in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.